Hi everybody, I'm going to tell you about the HubSpot blog today in our one-stop demo series. My name is Lisa Campo. I am a HighRoad MarTech consultant, which means that I consult on everything from marketing to technology. That's what MarTech means. A little about me before I get started on this demo. So I'm a MarTech consultant, like I said. Today is actually my 7-month anniversary with HighRoad, which I wouldn't have known had I not created this slide. I manage projects, I create content, and I'm generally the go-to HubSpot consultant on our MarTech team. So I used to be an editor. I also worked in just digital content writing and marketing for associations. You can reach me at HighRoadLisa on Twitter, or you can just email me at lcampo@highroadsolution.com. But enough about me. Let's talk about the HubSpot blog. Let's get out of here. Okay, so this is just the HubSpot homepage. The first Microsoft PowerPoint's going to go crazy on me. So let's get out of that. All right, HubSpot homepage. So to get to the blog, you go under Content, which makes sense. And we are in our HighRoad Solution account, obviously. And you go down to Blog. So this is what your blog dashboard looks like. You'll see on the left that it just says Blog, and there's an option, a drop-down here. It says HighRoad Solution Blog. But we also have some other blogs that we've worked on in the past, like our demo blog. I'm not sure what that is actually. There's some other, it looks like, ideas that we had that we just haven't rolled out yet, or we're just not sure what we're doing with them. So, so you can have several blogs. But if you want to have this particular blog come up every time you go to the blog website, which some people do because they'll have some blogs that are active on only certain seasons or that kind of thing, you can click this little star, and now the HighRoad Solution blog, which is blog.highroadsolution.com/blog, I know, very crazy of us, is going to come up for me every single time. And actually I hadn't had that clicked, but it's our general default blog anyway. So you'll see there's a lot of stuff to look at on here. So we've got our views this month. Actually have, since it's September 1st or it's September 2nd, when you're looking at this, there's nothing going on right now because it's the first day of the month. So in this instance, I can show you, let's just say last month compared to 3-month average. So this is really cool to look at because you can see whether you're going up or down in visits. It shows you the days that you posted. So these are all posts that we created down here. And then this has the 3-month, this bottom, if you hover over it, the gray is the views for 3-month average. And then the blue is the views for that particular month. So views last month, 855. Views 3-month average, 687. And you can do a lot of different, you can select the month, that kind of thing, and compare it to all kinds of stuff. You can also view your subscribers, which we actually have an auto-subscribe function that I guess you can add yourself if you're not already on there. But if you have something where you're not auto-subscribing your members to your blog, you can see who's joining as your blog gets more traction and you promo it a little more. So under here we've got our recently published posts and then the views and CTA clicks. We have comments, and we actually have comments disabled. So this was just one comment that came a while ago before we disabled them. On the left you'll see everything you kind of need for the blog. Dashboard published, scheduled, drafts, archive in case you archive any blogs or posts, comments, topics, authors, different people writing from your association. Then there's manage settings, subscriber lists, notification emails, RSS feed, and then manage the blog template. And then on the right, which HubSpot tends to do, we've got the blue button where you can write a new blog post. And as always, if you are somewhat lost in HubSpot, you can click on the little help button at the bottom and it will give you some popular search questions, give you the knowledge base, and you can also ask, to have someone call you or email them or call them. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the way the blog looks from the outside. So blog.highroad, here we go. So this is our very comic book blog. You can see that the last thing we posted was from me a couple days ago. We've worked on this design and it's kind of grown over time. But this is what it looks like when you just go straight to the blog, and it's better association marketing. You can see we have a little subscribe module over here, and we've got most recent posts, and then posts by topic. And the most talked about topics are at the top, and they're listed in descending order. You can obviously view more. We've got ads, and then we can just keep scrolling and going. And then we've got our footer, and then next. Or we can view all the posts. It can get crazy here. So I just want to show you what the outward-facing part looked like before we actually looked at what was behind the scenes. So let's go over it first and go to published blogs. This is a little more in-depth than the published section that you see on your blog dashboard. And it looks like, I'm not sure, everything was updated 6 hours ago. Let's see if that's, not entirely sure what happened there. They might be having a brief HubSpot glitch because I know all of these old blogs were not updated recently. But usually it'll show you the most recent blog, when it was last updated, and then author, views. There's a ton of stuff over here. So if you click on this, you can preview. And then if you hover over it, you can actually open the page. So you can see that's a blog that I wrote a while ago. Here you've got details on the blog. You can view it, edit it, clone it if you would like to, have almost the same blog post, or maybe you have a layout that you really liked in a specific blog or a specific post that you want to use for something else. Archive it, obviously unpublish, which would just turn it into a draft again, or you can delete it. That would be only if you made a terrible mistake, so let's hope you don't do that. And so you can you can search everything, so I know, like if I want to read about anything we've done for ASAE, if it's in the title, it's going to be in there. And I think, here we go. All right. You can actually go by author or sift through it by author. So if we want to look at me, this is all of the stuff that I've done. You can do, there are different blueprints you can have, which is basically just templates for your posts. We don't use that function, but you can. There are how-to posts, list posts, visual posts. Pretty sure you can add to that as well. We have campaigns for our blogs, and right now almost all of the blogs we write are for our HighRoad U campaign, which is why nothing changed. And then you can even sort by topic. So it's sort of just like the front of the blog, but you're looking at it from the back. Schedule blogs. This is where a blog would sit if you had published, or you had said, I want this to publish tomorrow at 12. And it would sit here and it would say it's going to publish, tomorrow at 12. All right, so this is the drafts folder, and usually we have a bunch of drafts in here, although it looks like something's been cleaned up. So this is where if you wrote a post and you hadn't scheduled it or published yet, it would just be sitting in here for you. If you had archived any posts, they would be in here, which is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, comments. So like I said, we don't have comments enabled, but if you did have comments enabled, here's where you could go through and mark them as spam, mark them as approved if you didn't have them going live, or they were pending approval. You can also do that through here: reject, reply, delete, flag as spam. This section is all of the topics that we've entered for the blog, so we have lots and lots of stuff on here. Most of the stuff I write about is content or email marketing, and we sort of started off with these longer topics, and we've kind of gone with shorter topics now. So this is, let's see, yeah, that one's the oldest one, and it was only used once. And so the most recent one, graphics and information design, was used on August 28th. So you can kind of go through here. You can go and delete, obviously, if you want, rename it. If you had accidentally spelled something wrong, I know one person that we worked with had accidentally put some commas in there that she wanted to delete. So she went in and she could go in and edit all of that through here. So authors is a pretty important part as well, because it depends, obviously if somebody writes for your blog, you're going to want them to have an author bio and a photo and some links. So let's just use me because I'm here and I can give my consent. So if you click on an author on our blog, and this is not necessarily what yours will look like, it's got my name, and then it's got all of what I've written. So you've also got my Twitter and LinkedIn links and my photo. Now you can also go in and edit full profile here, which is probably something that you'll want to do at some point. So you can have an author bio, select an image. This is just my HighRoad kind of headshot image that we use for most things. Put in our website, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook if you guys use Facebook. Okay, so before I get into managing settings and everything, let's just go to writing a blog post. And to do that, you can be pretty much anywhere on the dashboard, and it's going to be up here, a blue button, to write a post. Now here's where you can get into the post blueprints. These are different. So how-to post is generally, teaching someone how to do something. And we can actually look at what the blueprint looks like in a second. The list post, which is really popular right now, is just, a series of numbered items. Visual post uses an image element as the center. So let's see. Let's just look at what the how-to post looks like. So I've clicked how-to. So basically it's already got a little bit of a layout in here for you, which is nice. Now we don't use these mainly because we do our own, we'll just set these fonts within the actual, while we're writing it for the most part. But these can be very helpful for people who aren't used to blogging or just don't want to waste any time with layouts and stuff like that. And so this is just the preview over here of what it'll look like. That's very, very large. Okay, so I'm going to go back because we're not going to use this one. Now if I go to drafts, it should, yeah, there we go. I knew we had more drafts than that. So that was my sample how-to post, and it kind of auto-saved it there. So now it's in the drafts, but I'm going to go and write a new one, and I'm going to do a blank post. All right, so here's the preview, like I showed you earlier, which is in this tab over here. So generally, you want to start I would say, with the body of your blog, and you can write about anything you want, obviously. So let's just put some sample text in here. So, hello, this is a blog. Oh, or it's a blog. It's a blog. Okay. So here's where we put the blog post title. Hello, blog. And you can see it's going to take whatever you write initially and make that the URL for the blog. So if you don't want hello blog as your URL, you can go in here and change it. You can say hello. And that will be the URL that you can send people to get to this particular blog, which is pretty cool. I like that you can do that. And because your URL can also affect your SEO scores, so sometimes there's stuff that you'll want in there and sometimes there's things you won't want. So yeah, so that's the URL, and you can see the body of the post. Now we've got secondary content down here. But I'd also like to show you a few things that you can do with the actual post itself. So edit, there's sort of the usual suspects you would find in the edit area. Insert, we've got links, media, which is any kind of video. If you want to embed a Twitter status, something from Instagram, a call to action, which I'll explain more in a little bit. A document link, which is to a PDF or something like that, or an image. And then there's special characters, horizontal rules, anchors, the read more separator, which is actually kind of important. So the read more separator is something that for a while we didn't know existed, but now we do. Hello. So what happens here is that it is basically everything that's above the read more separator is what's going to show in your blog preview on your website. So I'm going to save this real quick so this will update. There we go. So right here, we see everything. So we see the entire blog, all 3 hellos. But if we were just on the Better Association Marketing blog here, which I'm going to go back to this instead of, then we would just see the preview. So this is the text that's above the read more line. It's really good to remember that because sometimes if you accidentally put the read more line too far down, you're going to have way too much blog on the page and you don't want that. Okay. So a few other things to note when inserting an image. You go through here and you're going into your kind of your image library, your document library really. So this is some blog post images that we've used recently. And I know this is a blockhead photo, which we really liked. So I just put a picture in here, and you can see it's kind of a gigantic picture. So you can do a lot with it. You can edit the image itself, or you can actually just edit the size that it's showing. So let's just say we want it to be 400 pixels. So I'll just put 400 there and press OK. It's going to resize it for me. I'm going to press Enter. So there we go. You can go in and you can center it, either going through here or right here. Center. You can edit the spacing, which is if you want anything to flow around. If you were going to align this right and you wanted the text to flow around left, then you would put 10 pixels over here so the text wouldn't run into the image. You can also link the image. If you edit it, you always want to make sure that there's alt text, something a little better than this. Blockheads console each other. Okay. And as you can see, you can make it bigger or smaller also using these little buttons here. So bigger, smaller, edit image, edit spacing. All right. So another thing that you'll want to use once you get into call to actions, which is not what we're covering, but I just want to throw one in here to show you how to do it. You can insert a call to action, which goes to one of your landing pages, generally. Okay, so here's our August toolkit. And we're going to insert our August toolkit into here. And what I'm going to do is center it and wait for that to update. Oh, save. Oh, it's taking a minute to center. So now we've got, let's delete the blockheads. And now we've got our Toolkit of the Month call to action. So if this were to publish right now, people would be able to click on this and it would go to our Toolkit of the Month. Now, the only other thing to really note here is that there's different header styles and different types of blocks. So you can do, a quote, you can do different alignments, you can do different line heights for the spacing in between your text in the paragraphs, text size. Now, headers are something that you generally want to set in your CSS file or whatever file you're using, whatever style sheet you're using. You can set your own headers, which is what we did. So if you see us do the, say, we'll do header 2 style. Our header 2 style is a gray, kind of a large font, and our header 1 style is a smaller. It's actually the same size probably, but it's a sans serif font, and this one is a serif. So you can change all of that in your style sheet. Now, something also to note if you're used to kind of working with code instead of blogs, which I doubt anyone watching this would be, but just to show you, you can also look at the source code and drop something into here. So if you did want to just embed a video and you already had the embed code, you could just drop it right on into here. Now let's look at the next part, which is options. So now you can choose which blog you're going to post it to. We're going to go to our HighRoad Solution blog, which is what I just showed you. And you can select an author. You can always add a new one or edit the current one, and that's me. So you want to add some topics, and you can always add a new topic, like let's just say the topic is Lisa Campo. I'm making this all about me, I know. So I can create a new topic. If I click on this, it creates a new topic, which I'm not going to do that right now. So let's just say this one's about mobile marketing. Now you want to choose your campaign. A campaign is something that HubSpot uses to sort of allow you to track how well a particular effort is going for you. So most of our stuff goes under HighRoad U, like I said. This is what our campaign's called. So now we can see what people are doing all across the entire site, and it's all wrapped up together in different reports that you can look at in the report section. Now, meta description is really important. So I believe this has to be under 140 or 150 characters. It'll tell us in a second, but this is just going to be a brief description of what your blog is about, and it's what will show on search pages. So on Google, if your blog comes up and it says hello blog, underneath is going to be the meta description. So this is a blog about blogs for bloggers. There we go. Now, featured image, generally you do want this, and HubSpot pulls from your content. So since there's no images, it doesn't count the CTA as an image. Since there's no images, there's no featured image here. But if you have more than one, you can choose from those images and decide what will show if you're sharing this on social media or if anyone shares this on social media. Now let's go get that out of the way. Go to the main list view. This is just a different way to look at the blog. You can also preview, actually, in as different people. So, for some reason these two people just came up, or as a visitor coming from, let's just say United States, coming from the United States. And we can pick different referrals. You can set up dynamic content to show for specific people coming from places, and if they're on a mobile device, which is why all of this exists. I'm not going to do that preview function right now, but it does exist for you to use. And you can also just see right here what it will look like on, you know, iPhone or a tablet or landscape phone. And this is tablet. Oh, it's a little too big for me, so I can't see this. Okay, now we're just back to regular. All right. So let's go to SEO View. This is probably, for me, one of the coolest features of the blog because it's so helpful. So here's what we're going to do. You want to write the keywords that you think or that you want people to search for and find your blog. So it's basically what your blog is about. My blog is a blog about blogs for bloggers. So we're going to put blog, bloggers, blogging. No, that's not. That's too many. That's too many blog words. Okay. Online publishing. How about that? You don't have to do a whole bunch of keywords, but you at least need to do a couple. Once you choose this, it shows you all the suggestions, and you can keep adding keywords. It shows you suggestions based on what your keywords are. So it tells you, good job if you got a keyword in the title, and then it tells you how many characters your title is, which is Hello Blog. So it says under 70 characters is the best to go. So mine's under 70, it's 12 characters, and it says I nailed it. And it also tells you how much impact this has on your search engine optimization score here. So the blog title doesn't have that high of an effect, but it really does have an effect if you've got a keyword in your title. So it shows you body optimization, options here. So you want to have as many target keywords in there as you can, and you want to use internal links. There's a call to action. HubSpot really likes when there's a call to action, and you didn't repeat the keywords too many times, mainly because there's hardly anything in there. But it'll tell you, oh, you're writing about design, and you wrote the word design 20 times, and that can come off as a little spammy, so that can affect your SEO score. It's got image optimizations, and there's no images in there right now. Usually, if you have an image, it'll say all of your images have alt text, make sure that happens, etc. Meta optimizations, and this is about your meta description. So there's 41 characters in there right now. So I just want to show you what happens when you put too many characters. Oh, that's not what I'm supposed to be. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's there's 165 characters in here. So you really only want to do 150. See, I thought it was 140. Thinking of Twitter. So keep it short if you want readers to click through your site. So let's just take out all the extra stuff I put in so it'll tell me I'm good again. Then there's a keyword in your URL. So this is in your URL. And there's 2 keywords in your meta description, which is even better. So we're doing pretty good for such a tiny blog. And this is, like I said, just really helpful. If you don't understand SEO that well, it tells you exactly what you need to do. So let's go back to our full post view. And then let's go to publishing. Now you can decide to publish the blog post now, or you can publish the post at whatever time and date you choose. So go here, that's the date. And then we have it set to US Eastern Time. You can change the settings. You can also do auto publishing, which we don't have because we have we send out an email when we publish a blog, and I also just go in and generally publish on social media because I want to configure everything later. I don't want it to kind of auto just put whatever it says in the meta area. I just like to, kind of put a little more effort into it. So I don't have it to auto-publish. But if you're an association that's publishing stuff all the time and you really don't have the time to go in and fine-tune all that stuff every single time and you just want it out there, that's great. Then configure the auto-publish. It'll go out on all of your social feeds. It's awesome. So let's just, oh look, we are viewing as a visitor in US. Let's turn that off. Okay. All right, let's go down to actions. So you can do this shareable preview, which actually lets you copy this URL and send it to somebody to preview, which is nice. You can view the blog revisions, and you can actually go back. So just say you did something horrible and it kind of destroyed. See, obviously it's got a weird layout right here, but say you did something horrible and you destroyed the blog. You can go back to a previous revision and just click on that. And this shows you before you had saved earlier. So it doesn't have the CTA in it. No, it's got just now. I think that means later. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to cancel. So you can choose to use a revision if you'd like to. You can disable live updates because sometimes it'll slow your computer down a little bit. I think that's why people do it. You can just save the draft and exit, or you can go ahead and edit the template layout. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this because it's pretty design related, but you can edit the layout of your blog. We can go in and look at it, but ours is pretty fine-tuned, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to show you. So this is actually the layout of the blog. This is our header. This is the content. You can see the comments, which we don't have anymore. And this is the little email subscription thing you see on the side, the recent posts, post by topic, and there's a blog ad. And at the bottom, we've got our footer. This is what kind of the design looks like in general for landing pages, for the blog, for email. This is what the design portal sort of looks like here. And you can obviously preview and open it if you want. We've got some preview options. You can view on everything else. We don't need to look at that right now. I think you get the point. I think that was the last one. Yeah, there we go. So here's what I am going to do. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back to blog post. So I'm going to show you what happens when you do publish. Now, once you've published a blog, it's going to give you this page. After you publish it, it's going to say, yay, great, published. And it's going to show you updated date, published date, what style sheet you're using, what template you're on. It's got performance details. It's got view live. You can just straight up share this in social media and all your other options right here. You've got your link, URL mappings, archive, view the revisions. So you can pretty much always, there's always a lot of options for you. Okay, so let's look at a few more things before we wrap this up, because I know it's a lot easier to kind of get on and start using it. But let's manage the blog settings, which is over here on the left. And I'm actually going to right-click and open in a new window so I don't have to go in. So this is under content settings, actually, and it should come up. There you go. It should come up. It's content and content settings right here. You'll get to this, and this is the blog. So you can change which blog you want to modify, and we just have our main one, HighRoad Solution. This is where you put in all the information that you would want people to see, or the really important stuff for your blog, like the name, the blog header, the page title, the meta description. And we're Better Association Marketing, endorsed by ASAE. So we've got header HTML for blog listing pages. We've got footer HTML. All kinds of options for you guys, and obviously, again, they enable social media auto-publishing is not checked here. We do have our default Twitter account if we were to do this, and it makes, HubSpot auto makes Twitter cards. You can actually go read about that on our blog, coincidentally. We have a whole Twitter card post. So this is the blog root URL right here. And then you can, if you can change this, but it's going to break existing relative links. So it tells you don't do that. This is the templates that we're using. And here you can set the number of posts per listing. And then these are the style sheets that are attached. We just got date formats, post by month format. And this is all for comments, which, like I said, we don't use. But you can check to allow it. You can allow comments to create contacts, which means once somebody becomes a commenter, once someone becomes a commenter, it means they're entered into your database in HubSpot. You can moderate comments, close them after a certain number of days, make them fill out a CAPTCHA, have some people get notifications of new comments, how many levels, if you want to have threaded comments. Okay, and there's comment verification text. So blog social sharing icons, which you generally want to have, and then subscriptions. Now this part's really cool because a lot of people use the blog to basically eliminate their newsletters. And so instead of posting, or instead of hand putting together a newsletter, you can put that content on your blog and then create a template that will send all of it out in kind of a nice looking format via email. So I'm actually subscribed to our instant notifications. I think that we have a lot of our subscribers on the weekly notifications, but you can have instant, daily, weekly, monthly, and we have 10 posts, I guess, in our RSS feed, and then it shows summaries instead of full posts and subscriber emails. So here, I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like, because this is a pretty cool feature. Okay, so this is taking us right, it's basically the email template for the daily notification email for the blog. So it goes out and it says daily updates, and then it's got whatever if there was something today, it would send out an email. But if there's no new post today, it's not going to send anything out. So we didn't post anything today, therefore no one's going to get a daily update. It doesn't just keep sending even though there's not new information. But this is a preview of how this looks. And you can actually customize this template all kinds of ways in the template layout section, which we're not going to cover in this particular demo. That would probably be more under email. But just wanted to show you that you can do this if you ever plan to, blog instead of sending out a newsletter, which I know a couple of our clients have done. Oh, okay, we're in email now. We don't want that. All right, so we can go look at subscriber lists. These are the people who are subscribed to the blog. This just basically brings you to lists, and then you can find, I bet we have a blog list on here. Yeah. Oh, that's for our old blog. Okay. Here we go. So we've got our weekly, daily, instant, monthly. And I'm one of the 14 instant subscribers. So we have a lot of monthly subscribers, and weekly is what we auto-subscribe people to. So this is where you can see who exactly is on this list. We're not going to get on a list, just know that they exist. Okay, so your RSS feed. This is basically just an XML feed. I'm pretty sure you can customize it, but for the most part, you just want to make sure that this can be pulled into somebody's RSS feed if they do want to take your RSS feed and put it into whatever reader that they're using. So you want to have, an RSS feed. Now we can look at Manage Blog Template. I don't think that's going to be something we'll get too much into, but we'll just see what this looks like, which I think I already showed to you. Yes, it did. So this is just like I showed you before. The layout is right here, and this is where you can actually, once it comes up, design is taking a second. Okay, let's reload the page here. Okay, there we go. This is actually where you can go in and modify the design if you want to, so you can drag lots of things over here. Obviously, I'm not going to mess with our blog layout right now, but you can see right here, this is the little blog comments, which you can see it's got the same little post. The content itself is right here, and you can see it's over here too. Okay, an email subscription, I showed you all this. So there's a lot of options here, like an image slider, section header, forms, social sharing, Hubble template, which is HubSpot's language that you can write in like HTML, but it's called Hubble. Google search, there's lots of things that are just built in already, and you can also do global modules, which is what we have for our footer and our header, and we have global groups as well, or those are under global groups. So we've got a ton of stuff actually for different areas of the website, not just the blog. So what we're going to do is go back, because I would like to, here we go. Back to the dashboard, because I refreshed that, I think, a couple times. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Got our analytics data, we reviewed that. I think we pretty much covered everything. So again, to get to the blog, content, blog, and then under content settings is where your blog settings will be also. So thanks for sticking around for this HubSpot blog demo. And again, my name is Lisa Campo. You can always reach out to me with questions. My email is lcampo@highroadsolution.com. I'm on Twitter @highroadlisa. So thank you for your time, and I hope everybody has a great day.